last time we met was in really screwed up circumstances. It was Park City. You were there with your short, and it was a couple weeks later the whole world would end and would shut down. And now we're in Marrakech at the Atlas Labs.
Yep.
And just congratulations on your resilience. Congratulations on that journey, which is, I mean, there's a lot to say about that journey. You're here with Laundry, which comes from a personal place, but it's also a fictionalized approach that you have to this. It's very impactful and meaningful for you. So, what was the biggest challenge for you prior to lensing? Either the script phase or the financing phase? When you think back, because now you're in post. You're
and post feels like the hardest because I'm in it right now.
Yes.
What was the hardest? I mean, look, financing. I mean, financing is really, really difficult because it's not just a matter of finding money. You've got to build the relationships because you take on so much responsibility. Financial there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. There's money, huge amounts of money. There's you've got to employ people, so the trust has to be there with the people that you partner up with. And the financing phase is basically where the relationships are, that's where things can seriously go wrong because, well, not even just that they can go wrong. Sometimes you want to be in relationships with people, you want to work with them. However, because the financing is not allowing it, then you can't. If there's no money that goes with that relationship
and
that commitment, then you end up losing really lovely people that you really felt were right for the project. And the financing stage can be a wrecking ball to those
those opportunities.
So those are the things, that's the really like the stuff that, and the thing is with financing is that it's still continuing now, because we're working with the rebate and and it's not very easy in South Africa. So the financing is just kind of like this constant. That's the part.
And I guess on some level, just being here, it's a nice little emblem to put on your packaging saying, hey, we're one among, I think it's 6 or 8 projects. So that says a lot because there's at least in the hundreds that submitted for this privilege. So just kudos on that. You did something right, regardless of where we are in the edit process.
Thank you.
Production took place. I want to get a sense. So, when you start seeing your actors speaking your parts, inhibiting your characters, right? You've lived with these characters for the longest time. What was your main takeaway now that you're editing and you're looking back? What's your main takeaway about that precise moment where your lead actress comes from a really interesting musical background, and you both had to entrust yourself.
So the lead is actually the young man.
Oh, sorry.
It's his story.
Okay.
The musician is his idol. And so she isn't idolized, and I think the clip that you saw today, the reason that she is the star is because she's the star for him.
She's the beacon of hope. She's the beacon of many things.
And because at the end of that clip, he then quits the band. He wants to quit the band. I needed to show you what he's giving up, and so that's what that moment is for. It's to really understand like how bright that world is for him, represented by her. and so to understand the gravity of his decision and the gravity of what he's feeling in the context of everything that's going on with his parents and the business.
Remember your short as having a very strong visual language. The grammar's there. It's on screen. It's why I contacted you. I wanted to speak to you. And I've seen the first two stills. I wasn't at the clip, the movie, the snippet of footage that you showed today.
Okay.
So I've only had access to the first two stills. And just the first two stills.
Oh wow, okay.
There's a lot of things to say about the vocabulary. Like we see a high up shot of a potential chaotic situation. It looks like the barbershop element, but there's also like not an action sequence, but something where the moving camera aesthetics might be present. So I just saw those first two stills.
Yeah, okay.
So I wanted to get a sense of what you can tell me about what I might have seen there, and also how sound coexists with the strong visual imagery that I'm expecting to see.
So sound music is central to the plot, and there's a lot of music in the film. So story-wise, it's very much there, but we are still going into post-production sound. So this is where also being here has been incredibly helpful. That's why we wanted to come here at this stage, because we want to make sure that we have the right input to make sure that this, because when you've got such a strong musical element, the rest of the sound really has to match it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you need to give some breathing room for silence and other moments. And so there's really a balance that we've got to strike. And I'm very much, really coming here has made me think about it in a completely different way.
Fantastic.
And that's great.
How you mesh his internal struggle or feelings with something that's much more bigger than him. It's like two parallel set of events where one informs the other. Like it's a lot to manage on some respect, I imagine.
Yeah. And I mean, that was one of the challenges with the when we started to cut the film, is that there had to be moments where we really had to allow one of them to recede in order to be fully with one of the elements. And sometimes it was difficult. And in some ways, I mean, that's also deliberate, because that is in fact the story, the fact that there's supposed to be this tension, this continuing tension, and never a space where he can just be what he has to be or just be what he wants to be. They're always in combat with each other. And this particular moment in the story is when essentially at some point the sense of just not doing either well, not really succeeding in either, and so that is part of the tension of the story.
Thank you so much for your time. I get a sense that there's still a lot of work to be done on your end, and that we might see it next year in 2025. Knock on wood. So just congratulations on getting here, but also good best of luck on the last process, which will ask even more creativity.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.